Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys making some time out of your day to spend with me on the video and check it out. Really appreciate that. And guys, like the title said, we're going to be talking about, do you want to bass fish or do you want to deer hunt in the month of November? This is the topic I like to talk about every November because it seems like people just forget about bass fishing in November and they got this deer fever. And I've got some opinions on this I want to share with you in today's video, and also get your guys' feedback on it as well. I'd be curious to do that. Also, guys, real quick reminder, I don't know if you saw the video I did this morning on the new bait cast reel I got. This is the Garcia Zata tack reel that Tackle Warehouse is selling. Got it through Tackle Warehouse. The cool thing about this reel, guys, is a lot of the proceeds are going to help our active law enforcement and military personnel. And they also got a 30% discount on this reel at Tackle Warehouse for basically military members, veterans, and our first responders. Awesome reel, guys. 7-to-1 retrieve, 10 ball bearings, got this tactical color on it, nice meaty oversized handle. I just love this thing. So I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video if you guys would like to order one of these. It's a good way to help out our first responders and our military there, so really appreciate that. Okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about this as far as the deer hunting versus the bass fishing. Now, this first came up, it's like back in the day when bass fishing was really awesome, when tournament fishing was awesome, Bassmaster, the tournament organizations, they had their schedule where half of the tournaments were in the fall time of the year and half were in the spring. So we started, the classic was usually in August, and we started our season usually in September. So we had tournaments usually in September, October, November, and December. And then we had a couple in the spring, and I thought that was the best way to fish that you could possibly have. But the problem you had is you had a couple of these very vocal, fanatical deer hunters that they thought their deer hunting was going to get interrupted by having bass tournaments. And there was a lot of people that, wanted to deer hunt over fishing, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. I even said to a bunch of them out there, do you want to deer hunt or do you want to bass fish? Make your mind up. So as a result, the pressure from the deer hunters, they quit having tournaments during the fall time of the year. So sort of the point of the video I want to make here is how much these people that deer hunt are missing out on bass fishing in the month of November and December at the height of the deer hunting season. Now, in my opinion, this is my favorite time of year to fish. I love fishing in anywhere between late October and early December. A lot of different reasons for that. Temperatures are cooling off. It's really pretty out with the leaves changing. But the thing that I like about it is you have a lot of shallow water bass that are really active in the month of November and December. And it's a power fishing deal. Not only power fishing like with big jigs, but topwater lures, crankbaits, spinner baits, chatterbaits, glide baits, swim baits. You've got more active shallow fish in the month of November, in my opinion, than you do any other time of the year except for the springtime of the year. Couple things I want to sort of give you guys some tips on this. If you guys want to take advantage of it and you want to bass fish instead of sit in the freezing deer stand all the time, there's two elements that are really going to play key in your fall fishing in November. It's wind and shade. Wind and shade are absolutely critical. What are you doing down there? Okay. Wind and shade are really critical in the month of November as far as positioning these fish in those water depths that you can catch power fishing. So what I like to look for in the month of November, even over the areas that I'm fishing, is I want areas that are getting a lot of shade on them as far as banks with the sunlight angle, give me a lot of shade throughout the course of the day, and wind on those areas. When you have a combination of wind and shade, and anytime you have water visibility over about 2.5 or 3 feet, and water temperatures again in the 50s and 60s, that leads up to probably the best power bait fishing that you're going to have all year long when you have those. Best piece of advice I could give you guys for fishing in the month of November, guys, is run the shade. Say, for example, if you're back in a creek arm fishing like that, don't pay attention to if it's a point or a back of a cove or a rocky bank or a flat bank. Pay attention to where the shade's at. I usually run down those creek arms and I look for shady banks. It could be on a bluff bank, it could be on a point, whatever angle that the sun is in relationship to how the lake's laid out. I get on those shady banks. And my favorite way to catch them is either burning a spinner bait or throwing a topwater lure or a glide bait. That's a really, really good way to catch them. You don't have to have wind, but wind helps out in those situations. So If you want like the best fishing of the year, this is what you need to look for. Look at your extended forecast on the lake that you're going to in November. And if you get a day out there where they say, you know, we're going to have we're going to have a windy, southerly, you know, wind flow, a little bit of wind, say anywhere between 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. It's going to be cloudy with a chance of rain, or it's going to be raining. If you've got that combination of a south wind and like a front rolling in, cloudy conditions, or even rainy, which is even better if it's snowing, you're going to catch some fish. I promise you, if it's cloudy or snowing or raining and windy, south wind in November, and you got water visibility of over 2.5 or 3 feet, if you put on a small spinnerbait or some type of spinnerbait you can burn, or a walking topwater or a buzz bait or a swim bait or a glide bait, you're going to get some bites. It's the best days to fish out there that you're going to ever have. So anyway, guys, if you're like me and if you don't deer hunt, and you want to focus on fishing, take advantage of that, because there's not near as many people out on the water in November, and the fish, everybody that's sitting up in the deer stands missing out because it's some really good fishing. So hope you guys are well. We'll talk later.